Verify top.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Mover, CW Lemoine, author of the Spectre series and the Untitled Chapter series. Stay tuned for an announcement on that. Probably tomorrow I might make an announcement on the Spectre series box set, so just stay tuned on that. Hope you guys enjoyed the Iron Eagle parts 1 and 2 Mover Ruins movies. Had a lot of fun doing that. It's a funny movie. Really good stuff. So today, a little nerding out. As most of you know, if you're new to the channel, I started this channel with a 2018 Camaro ZL1. It was not a 1LE, it was just the base ZL1 with a 10-speed automatic transmission. And last year, around this time, it was actually April, I took the Camaro out to SCCA's Track Night in America and ran 3 sessions there using stock tires, stock everything, no issues. And then obviously I got rid of the car, got a Corvette ZR1 2019 with the ZTK track package. So it comes with the Aero and the Cup 2s, also have the X-Pipe and the performance intake. So it's about 800 horsepower roughly at the crank. Plus I was running 100 octane. A lot of people have asked me, well, why did you run 100 octane? You're just wasting your money. But GM actually requires it for track use. It keeps it from overheating and gives you a little bit more horsepower. So it probably was a little over 800 horsepower. So you're talking almost a 200 horsepower difference between the two cars. So it kind of seems like a silly comparison. But I just wanted to do it anyway because I thought it was cool just to show the differences, because I'm an average driver, not specially trained or anything like that. I'm not a race car driver. And to go from last year running my first time at NOLA to this year. So here is one of the best laps from that session, which is what we're going to use to compare. So I'll show you that. Unfortunately, I did not have a PDR in the car. So what you're seeing is the GPS data from the GoPro. Check it out. So that was a 2:03. My actual best lap was almost was a little faster than that, but not much. That was actually my smoothest, so I thought that would be best for comparison. So as you can see, horsepower wins. I mean, you're talking almost 20 miles an hour difference in a lot of places. Now, some of it too, I did get better, drive a better line, start to understand the track a little bit better, get a little bit more comfortable out on the track, but ZR1 is kind of like running a cheat code. I mean, it's God mode on the track. I mean, it just has so much power, so much grip, and so it inspires so much confidence that it's really fun and really easy to drive. In fact, when Doug and I were going out and I was just messing with him back and forth, we were joking about how he ran one of his best laps at 2:04, and I was running right with him. I think that was that session we ran at 2:04, and 2:04 in the ZR1 was just nothing. I mean, it was easy to do it without even really pushing the car all that hard. So really cool. So let's take a look at the debrief of that lap, and really cool feature, the Cosworth Toolbox. It's free from GM with a PDR. Which is a performance data recorder. We'll take a look at some of the specs from that. Obviously, you can't look at the ZL1, but I'll show you what the car was capable of, and you can just see how amazing the ZR1 is on the track. All right, so this is the Cosworth Toolbox that comes with the car from GM. Pretty cool. It gives you the date and time, the track layout from Bing. Your fastest lap, your max speed, 155.9, which is about 156. Max lateral G for the day, for this session, 1.5, which is huge. We talked about this with the C8 video. A G1/2 is awesome, and how many miles we traveled. So we go down to the video. You can play it real time, but what we're looking for is the stats and the laps. So we will take a look at the different laps. So I ran a 153, then a 152, then a 153, and then I got into traffic, 158, and then I just decided to cool down, and 156 for an in-lap of 250. So this is awesome. This is NOLA Motorsports Park. Let's take a look at this lap. So biggest thing is the 5th gear shift. So right here going in the straight, looking at the data, 153.6, 48% on the accelerator, 45.5 time on the brake, negative 1.23 G's of longitudinal deceleration here. That's pretty cool. It'll even tell you the yaw rate. So you can see kind of out here, I could actually probably be a little bit faster, maybe 10 miles an hour at least faster through here. So through that corner there, looks like corner 1, 1.2 Gs, 60 miles an hour, could do a little bit faster. The chart, accelerator, 61%, 2% on the brake. So maybe trail brake a little bit more into that. And right here, if I'd have cut this corner, I could have gotten on the accelerator a little bit faster. Let it swing out a little bit wider. Really up to the rev limiter, but I think I wouldn't have gotten much by shifting. I think that's probably as good as you get with that car. And then on the brake, so looking at the data there, 1.26, 80 miles an hour through here, and then 125 through the stretch. And I don't know if you remember, the ZL1 was not even in that ballpark. So coming through this corner, for the video, we'll take a look. Down to about 50 miles an hour. We're holding way more speed, and it's kind of a much better line, although if I could, I'd like to cut this corner just a little bit more. And then up to 80. So you can see there, a G1/2 all the way through. Slowest I got was 48, and then 7%. 7 seconds on the braking there, 67%, 2%. It's just cool. What you can do is actually compare laps. So if the ZL1 actually had a PDR, it'd be like a 1-for-1 comparison. Unfortunately, that car was not optioned with that. I get farther down on the apron there so that I could swing out a little bit wider and get on the gas faster. Because I get way wide up here. So real slow to get on the gas. That's probably, I mean, just getting out of there, that's probably worth a second right there. And then you know, still I could probably get 1.3 Gs out of there and then pick that min speed up. So there's a lot of room to improve just with that. See how that little hesitation right there? I mean, I could be wide open right now. So with the acceleration, I might even be like 115 right here. So looking at the data, through that, top speed was 106, a G&a-half. Like I said, I think that minimum speed could be a little bit higher. Get up to 94, and then 1.36 Gs going to this. It actually calls this a straight, so it's going to say this is an entire straightaway that we get up to 137 here. So which is almost 20 miles an hour faster than the ZL1. And that's just all horsepower. I think here I could trust the aero a little bit better and probably get 5 to 10 miles an hour better instead of hitting the brake right there. I think it would have stuck. So I don't think there was a grip issue there. My min speed's 88, and I really think I could have done it. I think the 94 is probably more realistic for that part. And then maybe a potato more on the gas here, so top maybe 120 instead of 117, because I'm braking a little early. But again, I'm not a professional driver, and my biggest goal was to keep the car in one piece. You know, even though I had track insurance, you don't want to get into a 10% deductible on a car like this. So cutting the corner a little bit more here, and then not going quite as wide out here so that I could track out. And this is one of the things I'll do a lot in this corner is for some reason I thought I needed to go wide. Way wide out here. Through here, I would just get super wide going in, and so instead of cutting off, because the reason for that is if you cutting off, I can swing all the way out here and just cut the corner versus being wide and then coming back in. So probably a couple tenths here just from driver technique. And then the angle in here gets me wide and gets me sliding a little bit. So I should be way farther down, which will get me on the gas faster coming out of this corner. So instead of 65 coming out with a min speed of 56, I might be 70 plus coming out of this corner. And not on the rumbles. So anyway, I guess it stops here, but it was a 152 something. So for the ZR1 fans that just want to know about the stats, like I said, 152.46, average speed was 88, so it was obviously the best average speed. Wasn't the highest max speed. That would come on lap 6. Wasn't even the highest max lateral G. And time on accelerator was the highest. So you can kind of see how that plays into having a really good lap. The cool thing about this, it'll tell you the highlights. Obviously my 0 to 60 is not 11 seconds, but you can get PDR data here. So your 0 to 60, your 0 to 100, your quarter mile time, your 0 to 100 to 0. Your tire health, so to check out, you know, the tire temperatures and kind of how they were running, whether the tire pressures were good. You can see the cold temp was 26 and they got all the way up to the 30 there, so you can see on lap 3 that the tires were nice and warm, maybe a little on the cold side. Somebody asked too on the out lap why I was so slow. Well, it's because the tire temperatures aren't up. I mean, it's been sitting in the pits. Obviously you got to give it a little time, heat the tires up. For the temperatures, people have asked about that too. Max water temp all day. It was very cool. It was about high 70s for the ambient temperature there, so we were staying, you know, low 200s for the coolant. Oil pressure was good, running 15W50. And then the max oil temp was 261 all day, and that was on the last lap. So consistently in the 240 to 250 range, not a problem at all. So the extreme was there. Transmission temperature never got higher than 237. So, and then obviously the boost was running between 17 and 16. So a lot of good data that you can get out of here. It'd really be cool to have two, like we had with the C8, to be able to compare. So anyway, that will do it for that lap. That was the best for that day, the third session. I went back out and just did the photo runs with Doug. We didn't do any more laps. I was kind of happy with that. Honestly, I think with a little bit better technique on a couple of these turns and just a little bit more confidence from me and fixing the shifting on that front straight, maybe. We also had a stiff headwind too. The wind was right down the front straight there, so I probably could have gotten closer to 160 with the windows up and less of a headwind. So I realistically think a 149 on these tires could be doable at this track, which is incredible. I mean, that's race car territory. So, but it's a race car. I mean, the ZR1 ZTK is awesome. For the ZL1, if I had another ZL1 to drive, you know, if I got like 1LE or something, I think 155 is probably 155 to 158 is not unrealistic for that car. It's the limitation on that was driver, even though, you know, horsepower wise, I think with a little bit more grip, you could hear the tires a lot more in with the Goodyears. The Goodyears just make more noise. The Cup 2s really don't make a whole lot of noise until they're given. And somebody asked that too as well, you know, they should be squealing the whole time. Not Cup 2s. Cup 2s, unless you're on the edge of the limit, it's kind of like race tires. You know, once you're at that limit, you're not that much farther from losing it altogether as far as grip goes. So I think quieter is better unless you're on like a Super Sport or something like that. Then those tires make a ton of noise. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Kind of nerding out. Can't go drive on the track obviously right now with all the stuff that's going on, and can't go have fun outside with the quarantine. So I thought it'd be cool just to check it out and relive some racing stuff. Let me know if you'd like to see more car stuff on the channel. Also, if you've watched this far, I am considering, I don't know if you've seen it, but last weekend, in lieu of an actual NASCAR race, there was an iRacing NASCAR event, and it was awesome. I am seriously considering creating an iRacing NASCAR racing league. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in joining, because I think that would be a lot of fun to go do, you know, to create a league and, you know, just have fun and get together with you guys and go racing. So let me know what you think. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Probably have a Mover Mailbag in the future. Plus, I've got the frequently asked questions for becoming a military pilot, and then next week we'll be back with some more Mover Ruins movies, because those are just fun to do. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Excuse me. Oh, no. Oh! Been a lot of that. Usually fine with the doors off. All box too. Don't be a douche. Rule number 1. Make them tell you no.